Napakaraming mga OFW ang nagtatanong kung ano na daw ba ang update or status ng dagdag sweldo ng mga OFW kasambahay, lalo na yung mga baguhan at yung mga sumasahod pa rin ng below 500 US dollar. Ang direktang sagot dyan guys ay hindi matutuloy dahil maraming bansa ang tutol dito. Panoorin.
Meron po bang countries na nag-express ng reservation or parang nag-oppose dun sa implementation ng some of the provisions ng bagong policy? Specifically, sir, yung $500 minimum wage for kasambang.
Well, meron na rin, hindi ko nababanggitin, but meron.
Ilan po yung countries na nag-express ng reservation?
Hindi ko ipapahayag kung ilan yung countries, but rest assured, kasi I don't want Sam to identify particular countries. No, I don't want to put any particular country in a spot. Sa minimum wage increase, kung saan ang magiging approach natin dito from $400 to $500, we will take on a positive approach, as we'd like to call it, in contrast to a negative or punitive or penalty-based approach. Ang approach natin dito sa increase ng minimum wage will be positive. Sa tingin natin, kailangan ng ating domestic workers, kung mamarapatin, ibigay sana yung minimum wage increase nila kasi yung wage increase nila kasi sa pangangailangan nila, their basic needs. Ang isang domestic worker sa atin, usually merong mga minor children, 2 hanggang 3 malilit na mga batang anak at syempre umaalis sila ng ibang bansa. They leave our country to take care of others, to take care of children of their employers, their employer households. So iniiwanan nila ang kanilang mga anak dito sa Pilipinas, and so the least that could be done is ma-defray yung cost ng kanilang basic needs, living and education expenses ng mga batang iniiwan ng ating. So parati nating sinasaisip yung mga anak ng mga domestic workers na naiwan dito. They take care of other children and other families, but they leave behind their own. Kaya isa yan sa sinasaisip natin dito sa wage increase. Ngayon, ang gagawin natin, positive approach, hindi negative, hindi punitive or penalty-based. We will take a more positive and incentives-based approach. Ang ibig sabihin nun, we will encourage recruitment agencies, foreign employers to provide a wage increase to our domestic workers. Hindi natin sila pipilitin. Ang gagawin natin, kapag may employer na nagbigay ng increase, we will provide incentives by way of faster processes, green lane processes, and other forms of incentives na pwede nating ibigay sa mga gustong mag-hire ng Filipino domestic worker na nagtalaga ng wage increase, ng wage level na $500. So incentives based, no? Hindi natin paparusahan ang isang employer na magbibigay ng less than o recruitment agency na magbibigay ng less than $500. At nung nakausap ko ang Qatari Labor Minister, si Qatari Minister Dr. Ali Almari, sa Qatar nung 2 weeks ago, ito yung isang assurance na binigay ko sa kanya na magiging positive ang ating approach. It won't be a negative approach in terms of our humble way to seek a better life for our domestic workers. So itong guidelines on the increase will still be issued. Hindi pa ito ganap kasi hindi pa na-issue, and we expect the same to be issued sometime in the 2nd or 3rd week of October. So hindi pa siya implemented. Itong positive or incentive, kahit na itong positive or incentivization approach, hindi pa implemented until the 2nd or 3rd week of October. Ngayon, as I mentioned, yung Labor Advisory 25, meron din yung mga ibang mga components. And andun yung Know Your Employer video interviews. Bago pa man umalis yung domestic worker, makilala na niya yung magiging employer niya, and vice versa. Yung employer, makikilala na yung domestic worker. Meron tayong Kamusta Kabayan digital welfare monitoring system. Yung annual medical check-up, kinaro ko lang kay Minister Almari na Philippine government ang sasagot nung annual medical check-up. Of course, merong mga domestic worker na proceeding covered by insurance o kaya sinasagot ng employer nila yung medical check-ups. But kung hindi, the Philippine government will step in and voluntary muna, voluntary nature kasi nga medyo we are also looking at our own budget for this, no? Annual medical check-up ng domestic worker. And then meron tayong whitelisting policy, nakatalaga na ito, existing na ito. And then of course, yung pagtatalaga ng mga protections under the already existing contracts, standard contracts such as yung humane living and working conditions, rest days, annual leaves, yung non-confiscation of passports, mga ganyang klaseng bagay. So all of these will be yung aspeto ng know your employer will be embodied in a specific set of guidelines, pati yung annual medical checkups, third week of October ito. Yung digital welfare, yung Kamusta Kabayan digital welfare monitoring system na talaga na yan. And so with the whitelisting policy and as well as the standard contracts, of course. And then lastly, we will make, of course, we will undertake an implementation level consultation, bilateral discussion with host countries. So sinimulan na natin to sa Qatar and we intend to nagawa na natin sa Singapore and sa Malaysia, and we will continue our effort along these lines. So yun na lamang. Lastly, of course, we're doing this because most of our domestic workers are women. And ayon sa mga research studies, they still belong to the most vulnerable. They may be less vulnerable than before because marami ng batas at international conventions protecting them, but they still remain to be the most vulnerable as compared to other job categories. So yun na lamang. Siguro we could open the floor na to questions. Thank you.
Thank you po, Secretary Hans, Yusik Feli, and Admin PY. Before we move on po, acknowledge muna natin yung ating pong dalawang undersecretaries na narito sa ating Zoom press conference. Acknowledge po natin si Undersecretary Bernard P. Olalia, saka si ating Undersecretary Jainal T. Razul Jr. Okay, move na po tayo sa ating question and answer sa ating mga media friends. Nangyari po lamang na itap nyo lang po yung hand sa button para po ma-acknowledge tayo kung sino po unang magtatanong. Saka ano po natin kung sino po ang ating tatanungin sa ating mga officials. So number 1 na nagtaas po ng kamay, it's si Sir Samuel Medenilla ng Business Mirror.
Good afternoon po. For Sir Kakdako, kanina po na-mention po nila na nag-conduct na po sila ng bilateral talks with Qatar, Singapore, and Malaysia regarding po doon sa implementation ng additional benefits and protection for kasambahay. Bali, bago po malabas yung guidelines, hindi pa po ba na-consult yung mga other countries regarding po doon sa new policies pagdating po sa mga kasambahay po?
Well, meron na mga initial discussion sa iilan. But of course, pag nagtalaga naman tayong policy, meron after laying down the policy, ay may implementation mode at nandito na tayo sa stage na ito.
Tapos sir, itanong ko lang, meron po bang countries na nag-express ng reservation or parang nag-oppose doon sa implementation ng some of the provisions ng bagong policy? Specifically, sir, yung $500 minimum wage for kasambahay.
Well, meron na rin, hindi ko nababanggitin, but meron, kaya nga ini-emphasize ko ngayon yung positive approach that we are part of a community of nations and we have to take into consideration yung nuances or situation ng mga bansa kung saan nandun ang ating OFWs. And so,
Sir, sir, kung ilan po yung countries na nag-express ng reservation?
hindi ko ipapahayag kung ilan yung countries, but rest assured, kasi I don't want Sam to identify particular countries. No, I don't want to put any particular country in a spot. But rest assured, I have received certain concerns on the matter. Kaya nga ito na yung ine-emphasize namin dito. We would rather take a positive tack or approach in this briefing and move ahead from here in terms of, sabi ko nga, magka-craft tayo ng guidelines, and somewhere in the second, third week, magkakaroon na tayo nitong positive approach natin sa kakaroon ng yung incentives-based program dun sa mga nais magpatupad ng $500 increase para sa ating mga domestic workers.
And sir, clarify ko lang, until malabas yung new guidelines sa second or third week of October, naka-hold muna yung implementation ng mga policy for additional protection for kasambahis po.
Yung iba kasi pwede nang mauna than others, pero isa sa unahin natin yung magkakasabay naman yan. Nakalagay naman doon sa labor advisory, di ba? Transition phase pa ito. Kaya't halos magsasabay-sabay siguro ito. But as I said, yung kamusta ko bayan
Sir,
na
yung last na po sa akin regarding dun sa guide.
I was just about to say, Sam, na yung sa kamusta kabayan na una na yon, pati sa whitelisting at saka meron na rin tayong standard contracts.
Sir, yung
So dito na lamang sa minimum wage at saka sa wage at saka sa yung isa yung annual medical checkup at saka yung know your employer, yung sa tatlong aspeto na yan.
Sir, last na lang yung pagdating po doon pag na-implement na yung bagong guidelines for incentive, in essence magiging parang voluntary lang po siya. So hindi po siya magiging mandatory for employers and dun sa host countries.
That's right. And then we will provide incentives to those employers who grant the increase.
So, meaning nito guys ay walang asahang dagdag sweldo mga OFW kasambahay na sumasahod pa rin ng below $500 at hindi rin pipilitin ng DMW ang mga employer na dagdagan na sweldo ang mga OFW dahil magiging incentive-based na lang ito at nasa employer na lang kung dadagdagan kayo ng sahod or hindi.